Today we are going to study the relationship between the moisture and the density of the soil. In my previous video, I had told you that as the moisture content is increasing, soil is being compacted and its density increase up to a certain limit, then it start decreasing. There we had drawn a graph that is known as the maximum dry density and the moisture content, or the dry density or the moisture content curve, that is known as the Proctor curve. Now this we will explain it, that when we have to check the compaction inside, what is the fundamental procedure for this one? That fundamental procedure is take the sample of the soil or the aggregate base course from the side to whom we have to compact. In the laboratory, we will study the relationship between the moisture and the density of the soil. Okay, how much moisture is required that soil is going to reach to its maximum density, known as the maximum dry density. So this is known as our Proctor. So I will not explain all the standards, just for your introduction. As an introduction point of view, I am going to give you the reference of AASHTO T180 method. By using this method, because whatever the apparatus is being used, how to make this Marshall, I will just, how to make this Proctor, I will explain to you. First of all, the mold which we are using, we need to know its volume. It is taken as 2124 plus or minus 21 cubic centimeter. This is the volume. And this diameter, mean internal dia, it is taken as 152.4 millimeter. Then height 116.4 millimeter. Now, this is a just brief introduction about this mold. It is in exact cylindrical form, although I will try to make it. This is our mold. It is in exact cylindrical form as I have drawn over here, and these characteristics belong to this one. This is going to give us the volume, this is going to give us this internal diameter, and this is going to give us the height, etc. After that, we have to compact the soil, and before compaction, we have fixed it on the base plate. This is my base plate. It is fixed. We have fixed it on the base plate, and we are compacting it by rammer. The soil or the aggregate base course is being compacted with the help of this rammer. Now I will give you the introduction about this rammer. Weight 4.54 kilogram, and it is made to fall to a certain height. Falling height mean, and it is equal to 45.7 centimeter. So this is the just brief introduction, which the major introduction about these parts. Now I will explain it. Before we start this, the soil should be in absolute dry condition. Then whatever the moisture content we are adding, then we know that what is the condition of the soil and how it will behave when we will go and adding the soil. Because yesterday I told you, soil is having the three phases: water, air, and soil. This dry soil only consists of solid plus air. Just for your introduction, when water is added and it is compacted, the air particles are removed and soil is being solidified. Its density is going to be increased, or its density is increasing. So now Today we will explain it some more refined way. Just for your introduction, I have 5 samples of soil. Sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4 and sample 5. Preliminary condition is the dry. Condition. Soil is absolutely dry. Now, certain amount of the soil is over here, like this one. Just I am writing it for your understanding clearly that I have taken the 5 separate sample of the soil. I will take the first sample. I will put the mold. Like this one. Now, as I have placed the mold over here, in the first sample of the soil, let me write on water. Plus mean I have added the water. When I have added the water, now the soil is mixed very well. It means now this portion is mixed very well. What we will do? We will place one layer. We will place second layer, we will place third layer, we will place fourth layer and up to the top. 5 layers. How many layers? 5. Which I have shown over here. Layer number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The remember whose introduction I have given to you, each layer is compacted by 56 blows. Keep this in mind. This is our full arrangement. We have put material into this in 5 layers. Each layer is compacted by 56 blows. 56 blows in first, in second, in third, in fourth and fifth. When we have done this, after doing all this practice, whatever soil is inside, we will find out this mass. We will write down over here. Then again we will repeat the same procedure. Here we will double plus mean I have increased the amount of the water. Again I am going to repeat the same procedure. Okay, 5 layers, 56 blows in each layer, and here again I will find out the mass. Now I am going to take the third sample. Mean I have increased the amount of the water and I am mixing it very well. After mixing, same procedure which I told you in my step 1, 5 layers and each layer is compacted by the 56 number of blow, and then I will, after doing all this practice, I will find out its mass. I will tell you later in the example, its mass will go on increasing up to certain limit. Now over here, again I have added more amount of water. Repeat the same procedure. Then I will find out the mass. From this, again I have added the water. Then again I will find out this mass. So keep this in mind. Here, let us suppose that this mass is known as M1, this mass is known as M2, M3, M4 and M5. These are the 5 masses which are being tabulated over here. Now, you see this plus, double plus, triple, fourth, it means I am increasing the amount of the water. When I am finding the mass, you know, this volume is always constant. This is V. This V is the volume of the mold in which we have compacted the soil. So as I have already told you that when mass is known, volume is known, then we can find out the density, and it's, let me write down expression over here. This density is represented by mass per unit volume. You know, there is the water, there is the mass, there is the volume. So this density is known as WD, wet density of the sample number 1. wet density of the sample number 2, wet density of the sample number 3, wet density of sample number 4, and wet density of sample number 5. And this wet density, in my previous video, I had represented by it gamma B. I can write down gamma B1, gamma B2, gamma B3, gamma B4, and last, gamma B5. Clear it? I will take the sample. I will find out the exact amount of the moisture which we have added. Try to understand. I will take the sample. I will try to find out exact amount of the moisture. I will put in the oven. I know initial mass, final mass, and how much is the mass. As I given you the formula yesterday, the water content is equal to M1 minus M2 over M2. Because if you have seen my previous video, there I have explained it. M1 is the mass of the soil. When it is mist, it's wet. M2 is the mass of the soil when it is absolutely dry. And this is the dry mass. So from this relation, we are going to find out the amount of the water content. So let me write down WC1, WC2, WC3, WC4, and WC5. You see, I have written this one. Next, density is known to us. Water content is known to us. Next, we can find out the dry density of this soil. This dry density, as I have given you this formula yesterday, gamma B into 100 divided by 100 plus moisture content. So it will be gamma D1, gamma D2, gamma D3, gamma D4, and gamma D5. Whatsoever the things I have explained it over here, I will give you one example. Then you will be able to understand it in very fine way that how the calculation is done. Let me rub all this. First of all, the sample number 1, its mass 4053, sample 2 4233, 4361, 4412, and 4376. I had already explained to you that as more water is added, the amount of the mass of the soil is reduced. You have seen it over here. Next, volume. It is already constant 2123, 2123, because mole remains same. If someone asks you that why volume is not changing, so you will have to tell to the person, because sometimes this question is asked in an interview. Why, when you are going to develop the proctor, the volume is same? So you will have to reply it, because mold is being kept same. We are not changing the mold. When we are not changing the mold, its volume will remain constant. That's why I have written over here 2123 cc. After that, from these two relations, we will find out our wet density represented by gamma B. It will be equal to 1.91, 1.99, 2.05, 2.08, and 2.06. From over here, moisture content is determined. This moisture content, which we have found out by the method which I shown you, it's made in percentage. It is 6, it is 8, it is 10, it is 12, it's 14. Okay, this is the amount of moisture content measured from the soil on which compaction is being applied. After finding this moisture content, after finding this wet density, then we can find out the dry density gamma D. Gamma D is known as our dry density. So its value by this and this relation we are going to find out. Let me write down again expression gamma B by 100 plus moisture content. In this formula, I will put the value of this moisture content and I will put the value of this. Then we are going to calculate the value of this dry density. It will come out to be 1.80, 1.85, 1.87, 1.86, and 1.81. Now you see, all the data we have collected over here. From this data, this is very important because this data is being used in order to develop the curve known as the moisture density curve. So let me, and this moisture content we are changing. Due to this change, this density will go on changing. So that is why it is independent quantity and this is the dependent quantity. Because when we draw the graph, for the draw the graph we need the two values known as the independent quantity and the dependent quantity. And independent quantity is taken along x-axis and the dependent quantity is taken along the y-axis. Now let me show you how this graph will look like. Along the x-axis, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. This is the moisture content percentage going in this direction. And your in this direction, let me write down, this is your known as x-axis and this is known as your y-axis. Now over here I will write down 1.70 up to I will go to the 1.9. When the moisture content is 6%, your dry density is this one. 1. When my moisture content is 8%, your density is 1.85. When the moisture content is 10%, your moisture content, your density is at this point, 1.87. When the moisture content is 12%, it's 1.86. When your moisture content is 14%, it's 1.81. Let me join these values. Now you see, I have joined this. After this joining, I am going to find out peak value at this point. When I go towards the y-axis at this peak value, because this is my dry density line. So this point is known as maximum dry density represented by MDD. As I will come along the x-axis, it is cutting x-axis at this point. This point is known as the OMC, optimum moisture content. So the determination of these two values, keep this in mind. Determination of MDD and OMC is very vital because this is our reference. With this reference, we are going to find out the density of the soil in the field after the compaction. That density is measured with this density. And this curve which we have plotted over here between the dry density and the moisture content, this is known as Proctor curve. Like, let me give you very brief example, just for 1 minute only, for your understanding. I have taken the field density test. In that test, my dry density comes out to be 1.82, and my maximum dry density, which I have measured over here, it comes out to be 1.87. Now I am going to tell how the degree of compaction is find out. It is equal to, like, you have this field dry density and lab MDD multiplied by 100. Over here, this value can be written as 1.82 divided by 1.87, which we have determined over here, multiplied by 100, and its value is calculated. That is known as our compaction on site. So sometimes we need 90% compaction, sometimes we need 95% compaction, sometimes we need 98% compaction. This percentage of compaction can only be determined with respect to this MDD. And how much water we have to add in the material, that also depends upon this. Suppose I have the soil on the side, how much water we have to add as per OMC. What's my value coming? We will put this water into the soil, and then we will lay down either in the backfilling or as a subgrade, whatsoever is available. So this is our brief introduction about this, how the Proctor curve is developed and how we are going to use in the field to determine the degree of compaction. I have explained you over here. If you have any query, you can ask to me in your comment, and I will feel happy to reply back to you. And thank you very much for seeing this.